Some images are a little more difficult than others. We'll just do this, how I do this one. XL0. Now, this back side is easy. Make sure the string's not going to be covering up anything. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit of a challenge here. There, kind of fold it like that. I like to fold it under. There we go. Do the same for the next page. Sometimes it gets tough, especially if there's like 30 or 40 pages and they're all tied together. There we go. Okay. Okay, you have a little different option too. Besides folding it under, I can just turn it over like this. Lots of tools to use. Lay a black strip right across here like that. Does the same thing. Then you get some easy ones. Okay, leave grants, always something inside those. There we go. And then I get to go back and put in a waypoint because I was busy trying to videotape this thing and forgot to put the waypoint in. So always make sure you do that, so I'm going to have to tab back. There we go, waypoint. I got to change it here. 0. Okay. Just a point of reference, the next image I take, I don't need to go all the way back here. I just, next image I take, it'll automatically go back there. Okay, here's a little troubleshooting problem. You notice there's no border here. So either one of two things has happened. Either this document is just a little bit bigger than the camera can see, or there's another problem here with our templates. I know this document is not too big, so it must be the problem with my templates. So I'm going to go up here to templates. Yep, there's the problem right there. Okay, so it's in XL90. I'm going to hit edit and tweak this back up. Sometimes when you move these templates around, you don't get it just right. And there we go. Now go ahead and hit save. Back capture. Now I'm going to hit the repent key. Bingo, fixed. Another problem is if the document is just a little bit bigger than what your camera can see. Sometimes I just take it and lay it in the blank border, and then take the image as well. So that works too. That saves you from having to raise the camera up when you just got like maybe an 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch of document too big and cover up with the black board. Okay, after imaging your probate, there's a couple of things you need to check. Number one, we need to go to Overview. You need to make sure all these numbers are the same as on here. If they're in consecutive or descending order, it's really quite easy. That works perfectly fine. That's fine. We can close this out, and then we can go to do Evaluate. Before I press the Evaluate tab, I like to get my little magnifiers up and position them over some letters. And here's one right here. I gotta grab that and drag it right over. These are where you control there we go, the size. You can see that. We want it on 2300. Okay, makes it a little bit bigger. If sometimes you can't find out where it's at, I'll do that as well. Change it, and let's go back to 2300. right there. There we go. That's where we want, 2300. Then we start the evaluation. A couple things I want to explain here first is that you can set the time, the length of time to look at the image. I like to use a second. Gives a little bit more time to carefully examine the documents, make sure that they're in focus, flipped correctly, positioned correctly, no blurs, no fingerprints, no shadows. All right, we're ready to go. I'm going to hit start. There we go. It's critically important that you make sure that the documents are correct. Otherwise, you're going to get reworks. So just spending an extra few seconds in your evaluation will prevent reworks. If you find a document that's flipped the wrong way, you do not need to go back to capture images screen. You can just simply go to the little arrows up here and flip it correctly and then continue to evaluate. Another way you can do it is, especially when you're first starting out and there may be a lot of errors in here, you can hit the little flag button right here and just put a flag on it, and it'll flag everything that you need to correct, and when you're done, the system will take you right back to those flagged items. Personally, I like to fix them as I go. I'm going to go ahead and hit resume. Again, what I'm looking for is I'm making sure that there's a nice, clean, even border. Here's an example of what you can do if you come across a document that has a fingerprint or a blur or a shadow or something like that. I stopped it and went to capture images. Then I retrieved the document that had a problem. You place the document that you had an image problem with on the screen. Hit retake. And then go back to evaluate. Back to evaluate. There we go. Okay. When you're done, you'll get this pop-up. If you had flagged some of the images, the pop-up will say return to flags, and then you go back and correct them. Otherwise, evaluation is finished. You have 4 different options here. We always click this one here. It says close this folder and return the transfer to external hard drive screen. And click on that. Okay, this is the transfer screen, and you can see you got the project number, the media number. This is the week it needs to be transferred. There's your ID number again, your C number or your volume, date, number of images, and if you next just come down here to hit transfer to external hard drive. That's the blue thing with the blue light on it. And there we go. It takes a few minutes to transfer. Okay, when it's done loading, you get this pop up. And you click transfer is complete screen. There you go. We're done. It shows us we've completed 2 probates for the week so far, actually today. And by the time Friday rolls around, you should have maybe 10, 11, 12 of those in there. If you want to take a look at your data report or your DOR, it says show DOR. And this gives you all the information that you'll need. There's right now a total of 830 images on those 2 probates. On Friday, I always save this to the hard drive, so I'll always have a copy of it. It's saved, but I'm just going to close it out for right now. The next thing we do is just go back to transfer and get ready for our next probate. Obviously, before you start downloading, you want to make sure that the hard drive or external shuttle is turned on. You can observe the blue light. It tells you the power is on. Also, there's a fan motor in the shuttle, and you can hear it whirring if it's turned on. There is an on-off toggle switch on the back of the shuttle. There's also an on-off switch for the fan. I've always left that turned on. I do turn the shuttle off every night when I go home. You'll find the shuttle number on the top of the shuttle. Here at the archive, there are 8 shuttles.
That's 4 shuttles for each operator. It's important you don't mix the shuttles up. Each operator should keep track of their 4 shuttles by tracking their shuttle numbers. This way, when messages are sent from Salt Lake City, they'll go to the right person, especially reworks or any deletes. Each operator will need to maintain a logbook where you can record the ID number, volume number, box number, the number of probates, and the number of images, the shuttle numbers, and the median number. Also, at the same time, at the top of the index sheet, you can write the median number, the ID number, the number of images, and the number of probates. Disconnecting the shuttle is a simple matter of turning the toggle switch to off. However, before turning off the shuttle toggle switch, you will see in the folder screen that the 2 probate record boxes that you completed says on hard drive. After turning the toggle switch off, it changes to shipped. After turning the shuttle toggle switch off, disconnect the cables and you're ready to send it to Salt Lake.